In this video, I want to talk about a common problem that most of students face when they just start to learn the violin. And I can guarantee that if you avoid this mistake, you can save yourself years of wrong practice, of acquiring bad habits, and confusion and all the other problems that usually come with learning the violin. Now, before we get into the main principle, let's have a look at how actually most of students start learning the violin. So I've conducted over 7,000 of violin lessons, so I have my experience and I can tell you that a lot of people, they have a goal, they have a desire, they have a motivation, but they don't really have an approach. Which means they don't know exactly what they need to be doing, how they need to be doing things, so they can actually get somewhere in the violin. And another aspect that comes here is the emotions, because the emotions, they take over with many students quite often, and it makes them to hurry, to rush the process, to once they receive the instrument, to unpack it as soon as possible, to try to make a sound, which is kind of obvious, normal, since you want to have a touch on this instrument, but they sort of continue with this idea. They start to go into some videos, they check tutorials, they spend little time on how to hold the bow, and then they start to dig into the ideas on how to actually play a favorite song, how to play a tune, and this is where a lot of people hit the wall. At a certain moment they realize that it's so complicated to control all these things at once, to control the right hand, to be able to make a sound, left hand, notes, so much information that you need to keep under control at the same time, because you've got your right hand, sound, bow, left hand here, notes, fingers, and you feel that your posture is not good, your shoulder gets tense, your sound is messy, it's squeaky, it's hard, you don't understand how to fix it, it feels bad. It feels like overload of information, and you have no idea what to do with that, and maybe you even start to blame yourself. I'm not talented, it's a wrong violin, I need to buy a more expensive violin that sounds better, and all these kind of things. The problem is not the instrument, the issue is the lack of a right strategy. And we need to understand that by doing so, a student overloads himself with information and he tries to control too many things at the same time. So how to actually solve this problem? And here we have a principle of separation of the both hands. So in violin methodology, the best start of learning the instrument is to learn each hand individually, so you need to separate them for some time. So that means you're going to be practicing right hand only with the bow for some time until it becomes independent. So you actually have this issue of feeling like you're not capable of controlling all these things, because things that you want to control are not independent on themselves. So when you try to put them together also with other things, it gets even worse. When separating the hands, you can actually master right hand with all its elements until it becomes more automatic and it can work on itself and create a decent sound. Then you can do the same with the left hand, so you learn all the principles of the left hand technique, and then when two elements are independent, you can try to combine them, and that will give you good results. Just think about that. If your right arm doesn't know how to produce a decent sound, and you try to put the left hand with this, your attention will be switching back and forth, and you won't be able to control all this. It's like trying to drive for the first time in your life, you're taking driving lessons on a highway where you need to go on a high speed, change the lanes and do so many things. I guess you will be quite stressed doing that, because you want to start with simple stuff. You want to take every element. You want to start on what if you're doing a clutch, or what your right hand needs to do, what your feet are going to do, pedal. So you're going to divide it into elements in practice with the simple stuff. You're going to go on the street and so on. And then with time you upgrade and you get on the highway. So a lot of people actually, they start learning violin on a highway, and that's a very unstable and risky ground. Are there any downsides of separating the hand and mastering them separately? Well, it just takes time. That's the only thing. It takes time to work on all the things in the right hand, fingers, exercises, arm mechanics, same with the left hand, posture and other elements, but I think it pays off the best. Yes, you're not gonna be playing your favorite tunes right away, but again, if your ultimate goal is to play with a good sound and learn the instrument to understand how the instrument works. You don't need to aim for quick playing of a song. You don't want to create this illusion that you're sort of playing something, even though it's badly, but because with time, all this stuff, it will slow down your practice and you will acquire bad habits that you'll have to deal with after. Now, even in violin pedagogy, if you go into the books, you always find that the right hand is presented separately, the left hand with its chapters presented separately, because these are two completely different things that we need to know how to manage them by themselves. And this is what the great teachers always taught their students. They giving a good foundation to each hand, and think about it, it's something that is going to stay for you for years. And if you do it well in the beginning, it can really help you on your whole journey. And the most important, it's very easy. Yeah, you can think that, oh, we know, I don't want to do all these fundamentals because it's so complicated. No, it is not complicated. Actually, when you take things gradually, it is easy. Every step is manageable. You're prepared for every next step. What is hard is to try to get everything at once and sort of create an idea that you're managing it, but in fact you cannot do it. This is hard, this is boring, and that is something that brings us all these unpleasant feelings about violin and its learning. So if you're just starting your violin journey, don't dive into playing something, trying something. Take your time, separate the hands, work on your right hand technique, work on your left hand technique, on your posture, combine the elements step by step, and you will see that as your sound gets better, your result, your understanding, everything will be getting better, and you're gonna enjoy the process much easier. So if you found this video helpful, you can subscribe to this channel. We're going to talk about many interesting insights on violin learning process, on the technique, and so many things. You can also leave your comments about this particular video if you have, or any other comments that you would like me to ask. Thank you for watching, and see you in the next video.